every month I do a review of pet holidays and animal awareness days that are coming up. There's quite a lot, way more than you would think, and I go to a variety of sources and compile them, put them on my blog at thepetuncle.com each month, and do a show about them here on Wag of the Tail. So let me just dive right into the topic. You know, I've noticed in the course of just sort of my surveying of animal and pet holidays throughout the course of the year that they tend, at least as I see it, to fall into three different categories. They tend to focus on pet and animal care. They tend to focus on animal causes, particularly for things like tigers and other endangered species. And then there are simply the ones we think of when we think of pet holidays, the celebrations, the ones that are just all about the enjoyment of pets and animals in our daily lives. So, and then there are months for some of these, and then there are designated weeks, and then there are designated days. So it kind of sort of cuts down and across like a crossword puzzle. So we're gonna just start by going through what's coming up in August. Some of the pet care holidays and events. August is National Immunization Awareness Month. That's for humans as well as animals. But it's important to know the proper immunizations that your dog or cat or other pets or other pet needs. Immunization for pets is somewhat of a controversial topic. You know, some people say you shouldn't have any. Some people say that, you know, that we get carried away. And I think sort of the general consensus, if you really just sort of look through it more carefully, is the real problem is not immunizations, but too many immunizations. It's getting too many things that your dog or cat or rabbit or something else doesn't need. So you want to talk to your vet, find out, you know, the proper amount of immunizations that your pet needs, and just sort of make sure, and for yourself as well. On August 15th is National Check the Chip Day. This is one of many holidays sponsored by the American Veterinary Medical Association, the AVMA. And it's important to have your pets microchipped as well as tagged so they can be located, whether they get lost, to simply run away, if they get stolen, if there's an emergency. You want to be able not just to find your pet, but have the pet return to you. So it's also important not just to chip your dog or cat, but to make sure that chip is registered with the National Registry. And if you visit the blog post on thepetuncle.com on this particular post and look up this holiday, you'll find a link to the AVMA, which has a whole list of resources and a list of major chip registries that you can look into. Speaking of vets, August 22nd is another AVMA sponsored holiday. It's National Take Your Cat to the Vet Day. According to the American Humane Association, cats go to the vet only about half as often as dogs do, which is sort of not surprising, because if your cat is anything like a certain shamalama that we know, cats hate getting into carriers and going to the vet and doing things like that. It's just like taking a bath for some of them. It's kicking and screaming. Thank you very much for the comments, Trevor. Thank you. Cats go to the vet often kicking and screaming, and so people tend not to take them. But they need regular checkups, just like any other pet, not just to go when they're sick. So August 22nd, National Take Your Cat to the Vet Day. And then on August 30th is National Holistic Pet Day. And I am sure we will hear much more from a holistic pet owner when that day rolls around. But it's a day to raise awareness of just sort of natural and holistic foods and medicines and other kinds of medical treatments for your pets. So August 30th, National Holistic Pet Day. A couple of animal causes that get remarked on or celebrated this month. August 12th is World Elephant Day. Elephants are hunted. The ivory trade is sadly flourishing, and many elephants are killed just for their ivory. And of course, elephants are endangered in many other habitats around the world. So August 12th, World Elephant Day. The 19th, a week later, is World Orangutan Day. Orangutan Day. There's no G on the end. Similar kind of thing. Orangutans face many threats to their environment, and especially the palm oil trade in Southeast Asia has also put many orangutans at risk. August 20th, just that's the following day, is National and International Homeless Animals Day, sponsored by the International Society for Animal Rights. It's a day to raise awareness of the amount of animals who are homeless and living in shelters, and to think about them in terms of adoption, and just to be aware of just how many there are in this country. And then finally, we come to the much longer list of just celebratory holidays for pets and other animals. The week of August, second week of August, that's the 7th through the 13th, is International Assistance Dog Week. It's a week that was created to recognize the devotion and the hard work of assistance dogs who help individuals sort of navigate through their lives and through their disability-related limitations. And it's also to honor the trainers, and we have one of our own broadcasters here on the Petscope TV, Don Hagen of Halo Dog Training. I know specializes to a large degree in working with assistance dogs and training dogs to sort of help their owners who have disability limit or have ability and motility limitations. So that's August 7th through the 13th. Right in the middle of that, on August 11th, is National Assistance Dog Day. August 1st is what's called sort of the universal birthday for shelter dogs. You know, when the dog or other animal comes into a shelter, you know, the shelter workers can often make an approximate guess as to how old the animal is, but there's no way of knowing when the animal was actually born or even exactly. And so it has been sort of universally sort of proclaimed that August 1st is considered birthday day for shelter dogs everywhere. So be sure on August 1st to say happy birthday. Think about the shelter dogs in your area. August 5th, Work Like a Dog Day. That's either a lot or a little, I suppose. The 8th, August 8th, is World Cat Day, sponsored by the International Fund for Animal Welfare. It's a day to celebrate cats, and of course, what day isn't a day to celebrate cats? And 2 days later, Spoil Your Dog Day. What day isn't a day to spoil your dog? That's pretty much every day, but August 10th is the official day. The 14th, World Lizard Day, and another one of our broadcasters, Melissa of Tort Rescue, may have something to say about that. World Lizard Day on the 14th, it's a day to celebrate our scaly reptile friends with tails. The 17th, National Black Cat Appreciation Day. Black cats get a bad rap, but as anyone who's ever had or seen a black cat knows, they can be quite beautiful, and they're just as wonderful as any other cats. And despite all the myths and everything, you know, black cats actually suffer a great deal of mistreatment throughout the year, and especially around times like Halloween, when sort of black cats are on people's mind. It's one thing to have that sort of symbolism of, you know, black cats and crossing your path being bad luck, but the reality is not quite so humorous. A lot of black cats are simply mistreated and abused because they are black and believed to cause bad luck. So, Black Cat Awareness Day National Black Cat Appreciation Day. That's on August 17th. August 20th. Here's one you didn't know about: World Mosquito Day. According to Wikipedia, World Mosquito Day is observed annually on August 20th. It was created by an Indian doctor, Sir Ronald Ross, who discovered in 1897 that female mosquitoes transmit malaria between humans. And he declared shortly after this discovery that August 20th should be known as World Mosquito Day, and so it is. It's a recognition that female mosquitoes cause malaria. Yes, World Mosquito Day. You heard that correct. Those little buzzy things, they have their own day, and fittingly, it's in August when I know sort of mosquitoes are at their fullest. August 26th, National Dog Day. August 28th is Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. Just sort of a day to, there's another pet memorial day at another time in the year, but this is just another day to sort of remember the pets who have have passed on from our lives, sort of crossed the Rainbow Bridge, according to the well-known poem that I think no one really knows who wrote that, as far as I know. And then Sorry, I just got a phone call in the middle of that. And finally, closing it out, the night, and we're closing it out with a night, not a day. The night of August 27th to August 28th is International Bat Night. There is a night to celebrate bats. Bats, like black cats, get a bad rap. They are not all blood-sucking creatures. They fly around. They're just sort of animals, just like any other animals, and of course they have the bad associations, and we think of them as pretty creepy. But in fact, bats are actually essential to the health of many habitats. They keep insect populations under control because that's one of their primary foods. And many bats actually, they eat fruit, and they wind up dispersing the seeds in their elimination, and then that helps plant populations continue to spread and grow and stay alive. So bats actually play a very important part in the ecosystem, and the night of August 27th to 28th, that is International Bat Night. So take note of that as well. And so on that note, tune in next week, same bat time, same Met channel, to Wag of the Tale. That's it for today's episode. I am Randy Lyman, the Pet Uncle. You can find me and the rest of the Petscope TV broadcasters at thepetscopetv.com. You get the whole schedule and sign up for our newsletter. So you can actually, on Sundays, I think it is, there's a weekly newsletter that goes out listing all the shows coming up for the week and what the topics are going to be. You can catch replays of this and some of my other blog posts and shows at WagOfTheTale.live. And also I'm on Medium at The Pet Uncle. And of course, if you want to drop me a line and follow me this Saturday, July 30th on Periscope at The Pet Uncle. You can see that at the top. I will be streaming live from the BioBlitz at Lake Merritt Wildlife Sanctuary. That's this Saturday, July 30th, from about 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So that's noon to 4 Central Time and 1 to 5 Eastern Time. You could read my blog at thepetuncle.com and drop me a line at randy@thepetuncle.com. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you all next week.